Surprises are in store, titles are on the line, and scores will be settled as Rampage Championship Wrestling presents The Great Divide. Saturday, September 8th from the Litchfield Community Center. Doors open at 4 p.m. Advance tickets are available. You do not want to miss this.
Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of The Guido Goes Off. As always, thank you for watching. A big welcome to the new subscribers. And for those of you watching for the first time, if you have yet to join the Few But Faithful, please hit that red box, make it a gray box. You know, the one that says subscribe, and then it turns gray when it says subscribed. That'd be just awesome. And of course, the big news this week has been the release of Neville. As we all know, in October of last year, Neville walked out on the Monday Night Raw taping after finding out that he was going to be jobbing once again to the then Cruiserweight Champion Enzo Amore. Since then, there had been occasional talks, but in the process, it basically seemed as though Neville had no interest in returning to work for WWE. He moved from Orlando back to his home of Newcastle, and basically stopped returning phone calls. Well, according to Pro Wrestling Sheet last week, it was reported that Neville had been granted his release from WWE. It was according to reports that the reason why it took so long was because his contract was frozen, and basically because WWE didn't want to set a precedent and give anyone ideas that simply because they weren't happy with the direction of their character or their status in WWE, that they could just walk out and everything would be free and clear. But, so an interesting wrinkle in this was the fact that there does not seem to be any mention of a no-compete clause. As is mostly known, when WWE releases talent, there are grants a release or out-and-out releases somebody themselves. There is usually a no-compete clause anywhere from 30 to 90 days. Now, this can go even as far as the length of the contract, which is what I believe was going on here. Now, if there is a no-compete clause, it would mean that Neville would be free to show up at All In happening tomorrow night. There have been no reports yet of him being in Chicago. There have been no word from anybody saying that he is a definite show. It could be them keeping him a surprise, or it could be he's just not showing up. You know. Again, you have to tune in tomorrow to find out. Of course, they got the StarCast event going on all weekend long. There's been various streams from various podcasters on that. And the event will start, I believe, tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. However, there will be a free first hour on WGN America for those of you able to get that. I believe that is supposed to have a Fatal 4-Way women's match, and of course the over-the-budget Battle Royal. So, again, I guess we'll find out tomorrow what if Neville is going to show up. More than likely he'll go back to his indie name of Pac or something, or Neville Pac or something. Again, when we find out, you find out. So please, of course, stay tuned. But again, yes, it would set it. They did this, but they waited so long because they didn't want to, of course, set a precedent. Because, like I said, I understand if you're unhappy with your job, you have every right to leave that job. However, when you're under a contract, it is you agree to stay for that length of time. I mean, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like he wasn't getting paid. I mean, it's they do pay even during no-compete clauses. But, again, and I understand, like I said, if you have every right to leave the job if you don't like it, but if you sign a contract, you're kind of held to that. Not exactly what you want to see, But, you can't please everyone. Okay, up next, a possible huge issue for the upcoming Women's Evolution pay-per-view. And I believe we've got to do another one of these because it kind of comes into play.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
And this is in regards to the fact that Toni Storm is apparently injured. She did suffer a injury in a match at an NXT UK live event where she took on NXT UK Women's Champion Rhea Ripley. That's why the spoilers, for one. I don't know if I haven't seen any reports as to the nature of the injury or how long she is going to be out, but she has canceled some independent dates for the foreseeable future, which also included her defending the WXW Women's Championship, which she has since relinquished. I believe there's supposed to be a match between the alpha female and there's a triple threat to determine her opponent to find out who will be the next champion. Now, the reason why this also throws a big wrench into WWE plans is because of the Evolution pay-per-view. As stated, since there was a spoiler alert, Toni Storm is slated to be half of the half of the event, as she is part of the finals match for the Mae Young Classic. She is slated to take on Io Shirai. So again, if this injury is serious, it could possibly put a huge wrinkle in that event, that Mae Young Classic Finals match. Again, more on this as it develops. As Toni Storm, she's widely popular, she's very talented, and it's a damn shame to see someone go down. We, of course, wish her a speedy recovery and hope she is safe. Well, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of the Evolution pay-per-view, one person that has been drawing a lot of interest, so much interest, in fact, that the Holy See himself, Vince McMahon, has taken it upon himself personally to try to get this person, and that person is none other than Mrs. Punk herself, AJ Lee. From what I've been able to gather, they have been trying to, WWE officials have been trying to contact her to be a part of the Evolution event. However, of course, she has not really returned any phone calls from them, as it's kind of a source, but husband, my shoes for you. But there was even more interest in bringing her in once they did. I believe they did a survey a couple months back, as to what woman the fans wanted to see brought back for Evolution, with like 10 names, and AJ was one of them, and by an overwhelming margin, like 70% of the vote, they wanted AJ. Like the next closest ones were like 9%, and it was a tie between Beth Phoenix and Stacy Keibler, and which of course Beth Phoenix is going to be a part of it. Don't know at what capacity. As she's been, she has been kind of doing some work to get back into the ring. Of course, she's been doing some ring announcing. Always great to see her do that. But it's now gotten to the point where actually Vince went to see AJ personally to try to get her for the Evolution pay-per-view. And if this is possible, I mean, it could be huge implications, as not if WWE is not only interested in bringing AJ back, possibly even bringing you know who back into the fold. Maybe once all those lawsuits are settled. And myself personally, I was a huge AJ fan. I mean, she was, a highly talented wrestler at a time when the women's division wasn't exactly loaded with talent. And it would be great to see her come back for Evolution. Again, more on this as it develops, more on what they find out. So stay tuned as far as that is concerned. But ladies and gentlemen, another interesting thing, and that is another WWE Talent Loan. It has been revealed by Evolve Wrestling that for their events scheduled next weekend, they will be having the Velveteen Dream. He is supposed to be wrestling at the Evolve events on September 7th and 8th. It did say his opponents. I unfortunately didn't write them down. Sorry. But again, this isn't the first time, but it's pretty big. I believe they had. I want to say it was Cedric Alexander or somebody. I don't remember who. But WWE has loaned talent out to places such as Progress and Evolve and Progress and and some other companies that they are doing business with, and it might. And I can't say specifically, but what I'm thinking is there's a possibility that they've got some people they have their eye on within Evolve and are looking to test them against WWE caliber talent. And let's face facts, Velveteen Dream is highly talented. I mean, yeah, you might be in some hot water with the "Call Me Up" Vince on the back of his trunks. You could spin that all you want. We all know what he meant. But so this, like I said, this. What I'm thinking this is that they are testing the waters with some indie talents to see if maybe they would be a good fit for WWE. So again, if you are able to go to these shows, I highly recommend it. Because always live wrestling is awesome. Well, another interesting bit of news in regards to something I talked about on the last show I did. Apparently there's a lot of people who think that the booking of Becky Lynch is not what it should be, and one group that seems to agree is our mortal enemy, WWE Creative. It's been reported that WWE Creative is looking to change the booking of the feud between Becky Lynch and Charlotte. As we know, they've been trying to make this face-heel dynamic, but everybody's been siding with Becky. In fact, actually comparing her to Stone Cold Steve Austin during his monumental run with the company. From what has been reported, they're saying that what they're thinking about doing is, instead of trying to make a face-heel dynamic, they're looking to simply have two women having a misunderstanding, and it's escalated to this feud. So basically, they're correcting a monumental mistake before it has a chance to become Roman Reigns. I mean, before it has a chance to do some serious damage to characters. As we know, it's basically people have been siding with Becky. If you want to, please watch the last episode, the 5 reasons why Becky did nothing wrong, and see why the fans have been siding with Becky. And to be honest, this might be a good decision and probably should have been done eons ago with a certain animal. Grr. Good God. Grr. Well, that is going to do it for this episode of The Guido Goes Off. As always, I thank you folks for watching. So, what do you think of the topics I covered on this episode? Let me know your opinions in the comment section below. And as always, please talk to me via my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and of course, if you haven't been to the Facebook page, go ahead and go on there. Give that a like. We've been doing a lot of great things with another wrinkle, The Guido Goes Live, which we will be doing another one this Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, so 8 Eastern. Again, we will be talking about the upcoming RCW event, The Great Divide. Tickets are on sale now. We're going to, of course, discuss the hugely stacked card they have for this event. And who knows who might be want to give their 2 cents on the upcoming show. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, please like these videos, share them with everyone you know, and if you have yet to join the Few But Faithful, hit that subscribe button. Really helps us out. We are so close to 100 subscribers. Here's hoping that, within a week, we are finally get to that mark of 100 subscribers, and it's all because of you. Thank you very much for all the support, all the love, and the occasional hate mail. So until next time, I am the Guido. I think we're done here.